Hey everyone, let's break down the wild ride that was the last week of July 2026, both in the stock market and the crypto world. I'm here to give you the quick hits, the big movers, and what really mattered for investors just like you. So, let's dive in. First up, the US stock market. The final week of July was anything but quiet. Investors were glued to every move the Federal Reserve made. They left interest rates unchanged, no surprise there, but their cautious tone about inflation spooked the markets. As a result, investors started betting that rate cuts could be further out than anyone expected, and stocks took a sharp dip right after the Fed's announcement. But that wasn't the only drama. It was also peak earnings season, and big tech delivered some solid numbers, especially companies riding the artificial intelligence wave. But here's the thing, some tech stocks actually dropped as investors took profits off the table. The AI hype is real, but questions about whether chipmakers' sky-high prices are justified sent semiconductor stocks tumbling. Meanwhile, defensive plays like consumer staples and healthcare quietly outperformed on certain days. The Dow Jones actually led the pack, thanks to its strong lineup of industrials and those solid defensive names. The S&P 500 weathered the storm and ended the week up, but just barely. The Nasdaq? It clawed back some losses by Friday, but it still posted its weakest July in years, weighed down by those struggling chip makers. Let's talk winners and losers. On the upside, AI software companies, industrial firms riding the data center construction boom, and consumer staples all had a good week. But on the flip side, semiconductor stocks, high-flying AI hardware, and even some mega-cap tech names took a hit after earnings. Switching gears to crypto, honestly, it was less dramatic. Bitcoin traded in a tight range, with institutional demand keeping things steady. Investors were mostly on the sidelines, waiting to see what the Fed would do. Ethereum pretty much followed Bitcoin's lead, and while network activity looked healthy, there wasn't much price action. Altcoins were all over the place, AI tokens were volatile, meme coins stayed risky, and there was some selective buying in the DeFi and Layer 1 sectors. So what were investors watching most closely? It all came down to the Fed's rate outlook, quarterly earnings, AI spending trends, inflation and jobs data, institutional Bitcoin flows, and potential new regulations for digital assets. That's a lot to keep track of. Here's the big takeaway. The Dow stayed strong, the S&P 500 held up despite swings, and the Nasdaq was the laggard, weighed down by semis. Crypto was steady but cautious, waiting for the next big move. And above all, it was the Fed and earnings season driving every twist and turn in both markets. Remember, this recap is just for your information. Markets move fast, and there's no substitute for doing your own homework. If you're investing, always consult a pro first. That's your July 2026 market recap. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.